Ruben, the executive chairman of the 16th Council. I love it. I agree totally with what he said. So I'm going to be presenting the editorial and, of course, use that as a premise to our topic for discourse. Now, in a season of political recalibrations, a growing number of Nigerian politicians are defecting en masse to the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC), from governors and senators to local party chieftains. The trend has become a defining features of Nigeria's political landscape in the first half of 2025. While such shifts may appear to be part of the political game, they raise profound questions about the integrity, ideology, and future of democratic governance in Africa's most populous nation. Now, recently, several prominent politicians spanning opposition parties and former ruling blocs have joined the APC. These include former governors, current state executives, members of the National Assembly, and influential local power brokers. Though individual motives vary from survival and ambition to opportunism, the collective pattern is unmistakable. Nigeria's democracy is undergoing a dangerous mutation. Political realignment in Nigeria is not new, but what makes this current wave more alarming is its sheer scale and timing. It comes not from deep ideological persuasion or a national emergency, but rather from a growing perception that the APC is the only viable route to political relevance and protection. That perception, if left unchallenged, could destroy the last vestiges of credible opposition in the country. Now, what drives the defection? To understand the implications, one must first unpack the motivations. Three major factors are fueling this defection season. One, access to power and resources. In a system where politics is the fastest route to wealth, control of federal machinery, contracts, appointments, security protection becomes irresistible. For many, defection is less about belief and more about access. Second point is protection from persecution. Nigeria's anti-corruption architecture, while robust on paper, is notoriously selective in practice. Joining the ruling party has often translated to a de facto immunity shield. It's no surprise, then, that several defectors and defectors are politicians under investigation. The next point, collapse of internal democracy. Opposition parties, especially the People's Democratic Party (PDP), are suffering from a chronic internal wrangling. Many defectors claim they were sidelines, undermined, or unfairly treated by their former parties, leaving them with no option but to switch camps. Now, what are the implications for Nigerian democracy, the implication of this defection? While party switches are technically legal, the frequency, motivation, and impact of these defections represent a deepening crisis for Nigeria's democratic evolution. Now, what are the implications? First, death of ideology. When politicians switch parties as casually and as changing outfits or changing your shoes, it signals the erosion of ideology in Nigerian politics. Parties become indistinctive, reducing electoral choices to personalities rather than policies. For voters, this undermines the basis of informed decision making. What differentiates APC from PDP today? The truth is, very little or nothing. Both are filled with the same faces, the same ideas, the same contradictions. This ideological bankruptcy is dangerous. Without clear ideological competition, elections become context of tribe, religion, or raw cash. Implication for democracy, it's weakening of opposition. Now, a democracy without a strong, credible opposition is no democracy at all. The defection of major opposition figures to the ruling party not only weakens institutional checks and balances, but also emboldens authoritarian tendencies. Already, the National Assembly is teetering on the edge of becoming a rubber stamp. Actually, it is a rubber stamp. When opposition lawmakers cross over en masse, they surrender the critical role of holding the government accountable. It opens the door for executive overreach, weakens oversight, and leaves citizens with little protection against state abuse. The next point is public cynicism and voter apathy. Perhaps the most devastating impact of this devastation and defection frenzy is psychological. Nigerians are watching the same politicians hop between parties every election cycle with zero ideological commitment. It deepens public cynicism. Why vote when nothing? Why vote when nothing ever really changes? Why care when everyone's loyalty is up for sale? This erosion of truth in political institutions is already manifesting in declining voter turnout. In the last general elections, turnout dropped below 30%, a dire warning sign for any democracy. Another point is politicization of the anti-corruption war. When high-profile politicians cross over to the ruling party and suddenly see their legal troubles disappear, it legitimizes the entire anti-corruption effort. Citizens begin to see corruption as a partisan issue, not a national menace. The result is a culture of impunity where political allegiances, not justice, determines guilt or innocence. If you're just tuning in, this is Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. And what are we talking about today? We're talking about the mass defections to APC. What does it mean for Nigeria's democracy, and what are the legalities of defection in Nigeria? Now, the legality side, we have legal practitioner Evan Sofele who will be coming us to help us dissect that. But for now, just giving my say about an article I saw on Business Day written by Dr. Brian O. Ruben. I'm reading it because I totally agree with everything he wrote on that article. Now, is Nigeria gradually becoming a one-party state? And dangerously so. Nigeria is slowly slipping into what political scientists call a dominant party system. That's a system where one party consistently control power of at the center. The party consistently and constantly controls power at the center, not because of a superior performance, but because it absorbs opposition into itself. This is unhealthy for federalism that we practice in Nigeria. It encourages conformity over competition, loyalty over merit, and silence over dissent. It also centralizes power dangerously, especially in a country as diverse and complex as Nigeria. The consequences could signal political stagnation, resistance from marginalized groups, and eventually civil unrest. Now, what can we do? What must be done? Now, to reverse this trend and protect Nigeria's fragile democracy, urgent reforms are needed, both legally and institutionally. First, let us amend the Constitution. Now, amend the Constitution to curb indiscriminate defections. Section 68, subsection 1G of the 1999 Constitution attempts to discourage defection, but its provisions are weak and rarely enforced. Clearer, stricter laws laws must be enacted to ensure that politicians cannot abandon the party that gave them their mandate without consequences. Secondly, strengthen internal party democracy. Political parties must become more democratic in their internal processes. Until parties allow room for dissent, transparent primaries, and inclusive decision-making, aggrieved politicians will continue to defect at the first sign of defeat. Third point, empower the judiciary and electoral commission. This is one part Nigerians have been crying for years. Electoral reforms. Now, Nigeria's judiciary and independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) must be insulated from political pressure. Only a truly independent electoral system can ensure free, fair and credible elections and limit the incentives to defect as a survival strategy. The fourth point, support civil society and media accountability. This is one particular point that affects me because at the point a lot of media outfits were afraid to hold government accountable because it looks like they're going to send DSS on you. Bring in bogus and Trump up charges, or the NBC start bringing lots of papers for sanction. The media and civil society organizations must continue to highlight the dangers of opportunistic defections. Public pressure is a powerful force. When citizens demand accountability and clarity, politicians begin to tread more carefully. And now to conclude, wave of defections is not just a political tactic, it is a test of Nigeria's democratic maturity. Will Nigeria evolve into a democracy governed by ideas, institutions, and the rule of law, or will it remain a system where power trumps principle and loyalty to the ruling party is the ultimate currency? If Nigeria is to move forward, this defection culture must be challenged head-on. A democracy in which politicians have no ideological anchor, no accountability to their constituents, and no regard for the sanctity of the ballot is not sustainable. Take a look at what's happening with unconstitutional takeover all over the world right now. That is supposed to be a cautionary tale. More than ever, Nigerians must demand more. More integrity, more courage, more vision. Because if everyone is in the ruling party, then who's left to protect the republic? Again, I saw this article on Business Day and it was written by Dr. Brian O. Ruben, the Executive Chairman of the 6th Council. Joining me on today's show is Evans Ofele. He's a legal practitioner and a current affairs analyst. Thank you for joining us, Barrister. Thank you for joining us on Matters on Voice of the People,
Thank
90.3
you. Good
FM.
afternoon.
Now, okay, you know what we're talking about today, right? Mass defection in Nigeria, especially to the APC, mass defection to APC in particular. What does it mean for Nigeria's democracy, and what are the legalities of defection in Nigeria? First of all, let me have your overview of these defections to the ruling APC.
Yeah, the situation is very worrisome. It's worrisome because anywhere you have the operation of one-party system, it distorts democracy. It distorts democracy because democracies thrive on the basis of opposition and competition. But when you now have one-party system, it means there's no opposition, and so the vitality under which democracy operates is extinguished. So what you now have is just civil rule. Options and choices are not encouraged. And so doing, the process of governance is stifled and reduced to just the idiosyncrasy of the ruling party, which is not really democratic in the real sense of the word democracy. So my overview is that we are living in dangerous times, a time where the governors started it, the fear of being prosecuted by EFCC, but most of them have skeletons in their cupboard. And that Soshomole once said that once you come to APC, your sins are forgiven. That statement, even though he said it then like he was joking,
said it casually.
Akpabio was among the pioneers of that ideology because when he left, I had a lot of cases to answer to the ES, and he quickly joined the APC and his sins were forgiven, followed by some other governors. But the Delta State, for example, the governor, the current governor, the deputy, and the whole cabinet defected in one day. That's also because of the fear of PFC, because the power had a problem with EFC. So the governors are the ones championing this cause. But the fear of favor, to some, they want to retain their seat the second time. And to so many other persons, it's just one way to gain favor or the other. No ideology, no political ideology or to move the governance of their state forward. It's just about self-interest. And that's what is happening.
Now, some may attribute this mass defection to the internal crisis in PDP, where just after the election, where they came up quite strong, they didn't win, but they came up quite strong because of the grassroots support and the structure that they had, and then all of a sudden everything just blew up into chaos. The PDP might have played into the hands of the APC. Think so?
Well, you can say that in a way. I agree partly, not fully.
Okay.
Not fully, because the crisis in the PDP is not such that they cannot resolve. Because as we speak now, apart from the issue of the secretary, okay, and maybe some minor issues at the National Working Committee, there's no major issue. There's no reason the PDP cannot come together and entrench itself and bounce back. There's no reason. Remember, they used to be the largest party in the whole of Africa.
Yeah.
You understand? Before they lost it, okay? So, and to date, they still remain the largest. They should have been the largest opposition, okay? But they have lost it, because of their inability to put their house in order. And because many of their governors are governors that have put their hands in the cookie jar and have cases with the EFCC that are looking for a way to come back for a second term and at the same time to keep themselves away from prosecution. Both the outgoing and incoming governors, many of them have that issue. So the next thing, they are skimming around, telling the public that Tinubu's government is the best. the best that ever happened to Nigeria. Even when the government is not attractive, it has turned the lives of the masses upside down. Cost of living, economic woes, insensitivity, lack of tolerance of this government and all that could not have been an attraction, but unfortunately, it seems to be an attraction. For all the wrong policies someone sort are not for this government. This government should be a government where people should be running away from. But it's a government everyone is running to because Tinubu does not know how to govern. All he knows is politics. If you look at his first 2 years in office, there's nothing substantial about governance he has done other than politics. And he's going to use the remaining 2 years to do politics again.
I mean, he's already started. Missionaries are already in place for 2027.
Yes, because he's politicking, you understand. You cannot beat him to politics. You can beat him to governance because he doesn't know how to govern. He doesn't know when to stop politics and start governance. So he has played politics with his first 2 years. He's going to play politics with the remaining 2 years. And the next term, he's going to start the politics of succession. So he's going to be a worthless president. That's really where he's heading to. At a time when Nigerians are suffering, at a time when things have gone so bad, he's using the resources of the state to position himself for a second term. Okay? Going around, visiting people around and all that, not governing. Traveling around the world. When he comes, he keeps visiting that, positioning himself for another term. So that's the unfortunate situation we are finding ourselves.
So what do you think drives this defection? I mean, it's an individual thing, but just generalize 1 or 2 points for us.
Yeah, what is driving the defection is first, the PDP's inability to put it house in order. That is the first thing. The first thing, the PDP's leadership, they are the major cause of this problem. Secondly, the fear of being prosecuted by the EFCC or incoming and outgoing governors who have cases with the EFCC.
Who have lots of skeletons in their cupboard.
Yes, so much skeletons in their cupboard that they don't want to be prosecuted. They want to stay afloat. They want to make headway. Then, thirdly, APC is incumbent. You can actually cut a lot of covenants, political covenants, with incumbents because they have power, they have authority. Okay, you can do so many things with that. So that's part of the attraction. Now people are, moving here and there. Okay, and when you look at it, it's not just people from PDP that even move to APC. There are other party members, members of other parties that are moving to APC too. Theirs is not pronounced because they are not in mainstream. So you have it ongoing and the rest of that. So it's unfortunate because this is not a party that have made any mark in governance. That we should all be just towards joining them. I mean, for the first time, the lives of Nigerians were altered completely. Even the rich had to cry. So, because of the cost of living and the way things have gone bad, since that is the party that brought that kind of bad omen to Nigeria, it's not the party that everybody is attracted to. No. It tells you that there's something beyond just the political party. And the kind of politics we play is a politics of convenience.
Yeah.
Politics of so much infrastructure and the rest of that.
Yeah, and basic
politics.
politics.
People have not joined them now. Those who have not joined them now, more people will vote for them. Those people that have not joined them because they will go out there to buy votes and people will collect gratification to sell their votes. So, the political temperature right now is a reflection of who we are as a people. That we are a people without principles. So many people are reprobate. Okay? They have no ideology. They don't want to establish one. They don't believe in the future. They believe in now, what they can get now, and all that. So when you have that kind of mentality in the electorate, you will find it difficult to There are one or two persons who say no. Like in Akwa Ibom State, for example, the governor defected. Not only did he defect, he threatened the cabinet. He threatened them. If you don't defect with him, you resign. I think one of them resigned. One of the commissioners resigned. Okay, and all that.
Yeah.
So for a governor who is supposed to be ashamed of himself or defecting from his political party and not, because the truth is that in Celestino Mayor versus INEC, the Supreme Court said that it is political party that contests and win election. It's political party that contests, win or loses election. So on the basis of that precedent, if a governor defects, that governor should lose his seat. Even though it's not in the Constitution expressly. What is in the Constitution is that of the lawmakers, both at the state level and at the center, where they cannot show that there is discord in their political party, they cannot defect. But for the governor, we have a case. Celestino Mayor versus INEC, versus Mayor and INEC versus Rotimi Amechi. The Supreme Court said that it is the political party that contests win or lose election, and that the vote that you get belongs to the political party. So the person becomes a governor because the party chooses him as a flag bearer. Okay? In that political party. You understand? So I think that the time has come when we have to think out the Constitution. But before we even do that, we should first of all condemn the fact that defection, even for the executive, the governor, is wrong on the basis of that precedent. Because that governor, you cannot switch allegiance and then carry with it the benefit of victory to different political parties. Whereas the political party that own the vote, that own the victory, is abandoned. You cannot cross carpet with the mandate. You cannot. So I'm happy that the PDP has gone to court in the case of the Delta State case. The PDP has gone to court to test the judicial status quo on that issue. On the basis of that case I cited. Okay, let the court make a declaration. Let the court tell us when it is now the governor that owns the mandate or the political party that he represents. That's why we can put it right. I say that the legal implication of a defection for governors should be that they should also lose their seat. And let the political party get, when it gets to that level, nobody wants to lose his seat. No governor wants to defect. Because, this is crazy.
You can say it's one of the reasons why the National Assembly, members of National Assembly are dragging their feet, because there have been calls for constitutional amendments. It's been extremely very slow. There's also been called for electoral reforms, which will solve a lot of this problem. But they've been dragging their feet, and of course, it is deliberate, right?
Yes, it is. The National Assembly have been. In fact, their case is so pathetic because they appear to be indolent about making, rapid laws to cure all the defects of the Constitution. The ones that are glaring the sin and all that, they are very slow about it. They're not able to make laws, to arrest situations. There are powers under Section 88 and 89 of the 1999 Constitution to oversight, the entire country from sections and authority. It's abused. It's been abused. They are not doing things the way they ought to do it. Okay? Parliament is the hallmark of democracy. In fact, democracy moves at the speed and breadth of Parliament. But in the Nigerian case, it's not going that way. It's not going that way because they don't want to even make laws that will stand against their own wishes and aspirations. Even when it favors the electors or the electorate, they don't want to, and that makes them men and women that misrepresent democracy. They misrepresent democracy, and that's why sometimes we ask that they be recalled Okay, even though the process is cumbersome. But there must be a certain level of penalty when lawmakers fail to do the right thing.
And of course, mass, percentage of them have defected to the APC. What are the legalities of that? I mean, I heard you said that in terms of governance, it's almost non-existent, but there are existing laws against the defections for lawmakers. So why aren't what are there, and why aren't the parties of these lawmakers fight this case, fight this defection?
Yes, for the case of Rivers State, there's a case in court, okay, and for this one that have defected, there's a need to file matters, because the truth is that the Constitution says that when they defect, they are treated with declared maintenance. But it is not self-executory. Okay? It is not a self-executory, yes. It is the court that will still make that pronouncement. And before the court make that pronouncement, somebody has to file a case. So if I defect from my political party and another political party, and nobody in that political party is willing to go to court to have it enforced, then I will get away with it because it's not self-executory. So it is a party that will deal with that issue by making sure that when their members defect that way and they cannot prove that there is dispute or discord in the political party, the dispute and discord that the law is talking about is that from the center to the point where on the National Working Committee such that the party is not able to function. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You understand? So a party member or the party itself will have to file a case. We have to institute an action. Because in most of the party constitution, it's only the legal advisor of the party that can file a case, okay, through the ESCO of the political party against the party member. Okay. So it's part of the anti-party activity or behavior for the member of the political party to defect another political party. And then pushing allegiance and going along with the mandate. It's very, very pathetic, very bad. I wish this politician would see it as bad as I see it. It's a breach of trust. The breach of trust. You are just saying that you cannot be trusted. That's what they mean. I have my ideology. All you are doing is self-preservation. Politics of convenience.
So why aren't these parties fighting these defections? At least for the lawmakers.
Why what?
Why aren't these political parties fighting the defection of their members to APC, at least for the lawmakers level?
No, for the PDP, they want to court against their own governors. You're talking about their lawmakers.
Yeah.
For reason best known to them, because an outsider who is not a member of the political party cannot go and file a case against them. And most of the party's constitution, they can't do that. So it is left for the party to, if the party really want to cure that defect, the party will put up a strong legal team against it. Okay? And the legal advisor of the party will ensure that everyone who defects is prosecuted, the case is brought against them. So, and yes, the vigor of that political party and the way of how organized they are will determine whether they will get things done rightly or not.
So what are the implications of these, many mass defection? What are the implications to Nigeria's democracy right now?
Yeah, I'll talk about the implication. And that first of all, it stifles democracy.
Okay.
It stifles the present structures of democratic engagement. It reduces that competitiveness that democracy comes with. It toys with the human choice and preference that underscores democracy. Okay, it reduces the vitality of engagement in political processes. Okay, and ultimately it opens the floodgate for people who have no ideology, who have no political progress-driven ideology. It opens the floodgate for them to come and take over the entire process, become leaders without knowing what exactly the people need, without having the ideology to propel good governance, and without being able to rescue the citizens and bring them under the banner of the dividend of democracy. So those are the implications. It comes with a lot of negative. Uncountable, you cannot put it on account. This negative will in the long run, create leaders that will become vehement, pissed, and cannot reconcile their position and service to the people. And at the end of it, the people will be the worst because their resources will be abused. Their resources will be used to oppress them. And at the end of the day, they will suffer dearly for it.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Evan Sufeli, for your time and insight. Thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
That was Evan Sufeli, a legal practitioner and current affairs analyst. If you're just joining in, this is Matters on Voice of the People, VOP 90.3 FM. You can follow us on our social media handles at VOP 103 FM. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, VOP 903 FM. So what have we been talking about today? Mass defections to APC. What does it mean for Nigeria's democracy? And what are the legalities of defection in Nigeria? Of course, the other part of it, the legal practitioner have just helped us to dissect it. So now the floodgate is open. It is time for the meeting to commence. Welcome to the town hall segment. Talk to us. What do you think? Call us via phone number 0 0700 903 903 903. The number again is 0700 903 903 903 or 0803 692 9933. The number again is 0803 692 9933. Let me call both numbers again: 0700 903 903 903 and 0803 692 9933. Or you can call us or text us via WhatsApp to 081717563338. Okay, we have a first caller in the house. Good afternoon, thanks for joining us. Hello, good afternoon, thanks for joining us. Good afternoon. Okay, well, please call us again. Call us back. We have another caller. Good afternoon, thanks for joining us. Good afternoon. What is going on with network today? Please call us again. Call us again. I'm sorry. We have another caller. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Good afternoon. Uh-oh. We're actually having lots of calls, but network seem to have other ideas. I'm sorry about that. Please keep calling. Hello, thanks for joining us. Hello. Hello, thanks for joining us. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Oh,
Hello?
finally. Thank you for joining us on the show today.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from, please.
This is Angela from Badagry.
From Badagry. Okay, talk to us.
I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Is there any game that is being played with a prize?
Do you know who you're calling?
Yes, I think this is Jolly FM.
Uh-oh. Oh, we seem to be having a teenager calling us, asking us for a game. I think it's a wrong number. Okay, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, please. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, your name, we didn't hear that. We didn't get that.
Samuel from Mushi.
Oh, Samuel from Mushi. Okay, talk to us, Samuel. Hello, Samuel. Hello. Oh. The number to call again, numbers 0700-903-903-903 and 003-692-9933. Hello, thanks for joining us. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on the show. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Mr. Peter. I'm calling from Buckner.
Mr. Peter calling from?
Buckner.
Okay, talk to us, Mr. Peter.
I really agree with your analysis.
Okay.
Thank you, it's a good job.
Oh, thank you.
That's what I have to contribute. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you very much. That was quick and straight to the point. Okay, we have another caller. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon, my beloved.
Hey, tell us your name and where you're calling from, please.
I am Evangelist Israel calling from Idimu.
Evangelist Israel calling from Idimu.
Yeah.
Talk to us, sir.
You know, God is greater than every human being.
Definitely.
So defecting to APC should not move anybody in Nigeria. Because birds of same feather flows together.
True.
And by the time they touch God's anger, because of flowing together, that's how God will deal with them. If you watch at people that are going to APC, there are people defiling Nigeria. And when God's anger will come up, that name APC will bury them. I prophesy that to them. They will see it physical. Since APC entered into leadership in Nigeria, 30 million Nigerians are crying and weeping. And God is hearing. So if they're going to APC, they are just taking themselves to where God will destroy them. Because people that do not go to there have integrity. God knows how he does things. The Bible says in 1 Peter that God knows how to save the righteous. So them going to APC, I'm laughing at them. Because if they are to serve God, they will do well. But if they're not serving God, let them wait and see what God will do. May God bless us.
Thank you very much, Evangelist. Okay, thanks for joining us. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Stephen, calling from Shasha.
Stephen, calling from Shasha. Thank you for joining us on the show. Talk to us, please.
All right. My own take is defection. The defection should not be a problem.
Okay.
Because if defecting, they are looking for a platform that they will definitely stand and win their next elections.
Okay.
So, whatever we are passing through now in the country, I don't see President Bola Tinubu as a problem, but those who are representing us in the House of Assembly, House of Representatives, and Senate.
Oh, he didn't finish his thoughts there. Okay, let me read some message. Good evening, Esther. Okay. This message is directed to the wrong person. We have a message from Olusoga Jai from Odonla Ikorodu. Build infrastructure with good physical and mental capacity. People like Chief Awolowo do not need to struggle to name existing buildings. They already named themselves in people's hearts with some of their human betterment programs like free education. That building name can't change anytime, but the impact you left in people's life endures forever, whether good or bad. Olusoga Jai from Odonla, well put. Thank you very much. Okay, we have another caller. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Ike from Mushi.
Ike from Mushi. Talk to us, Ike.
Thank you for your wonderful work.
Thank you.
And our number one thing I want to say. Another one is all these people that are defecting from Mushi. APC. People having something in their cupboard, skeleton in their cupboard. That's the only thing I can tell you. Because they're not defecting there because of the APC are doing well. APC are not doing us any well. Everybody is suffering. You don't have different market for APC people or PDP. All of us are buying the same market. Defecting to APC is because of second tenor. It's because of they don't turn it to national cake. Come and take your own. No. All of them that enter interest for any good thing. They are national cake. That's the only thing I can say there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Okay, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, good afternoon.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good afternoon, Solomon.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, I'm from Isolo. My name is Elder Wa.
Elder Wa from Isolo.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Again,
I am a lover of this station and I prefer listening than to talk.
Oh, okay.
But something warranted me now to say something.
Ooh,
You're talking about defection. You're talking about defection. You're talking about people rolling to one side. There is many things Bible said that I used to hold on and believe God. The road that is broad and many people are going there, the end of it is destruction. The second thing is that those who are running to APC because they have some skeleton in their cupboard, they want to run for safety. They are running for the safety of man, but the wrath of God is waiting for them. They have done this nation harm than good. And that harm, God has recorded it to the full. God does not come to people by notice, either by his good measure or bad one. He comes suddenly. We have this Nebuchadnezzar's group in Nigeria. We have that Herod. We have Goliath. We have Ahab and his Jezebel. That's the camp that are going to one camp where they call their name, I don't know. They have put this nation into misery, into apart from the blood that is being lost in this nation, God is recording them. When the anger will come, it will not respect any human person. We are here waiting, looking for God. One day, God will answer. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much for calling. Have a nice day to you too. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Hello. Please call us back. Okay, I have a message here. In just 2 years, Bola Tinubu has named and renamed at least 6 edifices and institutions for himself. I'll continue with that after taking this call. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon. Am I speaking with Solomon?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Wow, I've been trying to read. This video is very difficult to reach.
Oh, we do sincerely apologize for that. We apologize for that.
First of all, thank you very much for a wonderful broadcast professional that you are.
Thank you very much.
I always like your news and other presentations.
Thank you, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, please.
Okay, you can call me McDonald.
McDonald, okay. Okay, talk to us, McDonald.
Yes, pretty much, you know. You know that this nation will keep commenting this and that here and there. But we all know what's going on. You know, like somebody once said, the country is not even a country, it's a company. People don't like to, grab as much as they can grab for themselves. I'm not talking about politicians only, you know. That's just the mindset of the Nigerians.
Okay.
There's no oneness, no togetherness at all. Even somebody will be calling, will be screaming, you will see all his veins in his face coming out on the radio or television. If that person chance, they will do likewise. I'm telling you, because we refuse to work on the major thing, which is character. It's not about blaming this one, blaming the other one. I'll just tell you the truth. There's nothing we do that will work, except we change this mindset of, self-aggrandizement, self-centeredness. You don't care about your fellow human being. Even when you know that someday, no matter how much you've got, one day you're going to leave this world regardless. And it's not even too far from now when you leave the world. I don't know why we find it hard to relate to another human being. You see why we should unite. Solomon, you see that even as we're talking about elections, this, that, 2027, some people are still in this riots and stuff like this. Some people are praising people who have done nothing. You see some people still supporting this administration. For what? Can't we call a spade for what? Let's assume the votes won't count. But must we start now to make it not count? I'm talking about the masses. They're using themselves to make it not count by taking sides with this administration. That means you're giving them the go ahead to just rig everything. No matter who wins, they will declare winners. I mean, people should. Nigerians are not serious. I keep saying it.
Yeah, that's a good message for Nigerians too. Thank you very much for that.
People are not serious, man.
Yeah. Thank you very much for calling. Thanks for talking to us.
Okay, bro.
I will continue with this message. In just 2 years, President Bola Tinubu has named and renamed at least 6 edifices and institutions for himself. Okay, we've got another caller. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Samuel.
Samuel, okay, calling from
Temeta.
Ibutemeta. Talk to us, Samuel.
Thank you. You're talking of the defection of party to another party. You know, politics is a personal choice. Not what they are doing now doesn't break it down. Their personal choice. They are not looking for me and you. I'm gonna go say the program. They are not looking for me and you. They are looking for their personal interest. No be any Nigerian interest. Because if there is for Nigerian interest, I don't see the reason why party A will bring you up, and now you now leave the party to another party because of you want to win the next election. In terms of football, let's talk about it. You cannot leave the club that signed you to another club. If you have issue for that club, they'll suspend you or they loan you out. If I make their rules be like that, I don't see any reason that makes any of them to be paid from one party to another. Nobody says the government is doing well. They are not doing well. They are buying well before 170 something. Now it's 1,800, 800. That's why you're buying it now. Everybody is expecting it. But now they are defecting. They are defecting it for their own pocket. Because they have already made the comment say that if you join your APC, your sins are forgiven. And many have joined and their sins are forgiven. Somebody like Okowadem, they have issues with EFCC. Since then he joined the APC. Nobody talk of that case again. Nobody talk about that. But all of them that are joining it, you will see the end of it. You will see here the scores. If you gather all the whole party in this Nigeria, they are not bigger than we artists that vote. If you can vote, can count. If you do vote now, if you can count normal, none of them will come back. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. Okay, if you're just joining us, this is Matters on Voice of the People, VOP 90.3 FM. And what are we talking about today? What have we been talking about? Mass defections to APC. What does it mean for Nigeria's democracy? And what are the legalities of defection in Nigeria? In just 2 years, President Tinubu has named and renamed at least 6 edifices and institutions for himself. Bola Ahmed Tinubu Barracks Abuja, Bola Ahmed Tinubu Technology Innovation Complex, Bola Ahmed Tinubu Polytechnic, and so on and so forth. For this sender went on to name quite a number of them. Okay, let's pause. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon, sir.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from, please.
Osita, calling from Oshodi.
Osita, calling from Oshodi. Okay, talk to us. Please, before you continue, move away from your radio or TV set or tune down the volume totally. We're having a slight holdback here.
The issue of this defection. I don't know why the judiciary is supposed to make it as a law. If you want to defect, you denounce that post. You cannot defect with the post the APC here, then the PDP give you to APC. It is uncalled for. It cannot be so. And again, all these people, they are just defecting for selfish interest. Where they are defecting to, can they say, even themselves that are defecting, can they boldly say that this and this and this is what I have achieved in this place before I'm defecting? None of them have achieved nothing, only their pockets. One person has said this is that they are going where they will be, where all of them will be paying. That's where they are defecting to. It's a trap. and they will be trapped here because they know why they are defecting. Even the so-called the central body of the APC, what have they done in the whole Nigeria after 2 years of ruling? The answer is nothing. And if somebody wants to do something, he will say, because of this man has done this, because this man has done this, I want to emulate him. What are they going to emulate from APC? Now, all of them that are defecting, they are defecting for their own selfish interest. And the wrath of God will definitely come upon them. They cannot escape the wrath of God. All of them that are defected, they have done worse to this country, Nigeria. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Okay, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Ooh. Hello, good afternoon.
Move away from your radio TV set, please, or tune down the volume totally.
I've already off it. I know the system.
Okay. Good.
Yes, my brother. When I had this problem of that we use 39 billion to reactivate a conference center, 39 billion. Nigerians, are you hearing it? Nigerians, are you hearing this APC government, what they're doing? Are you hearing it? We use 39 billion to repair conference hall. We're going to get there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You didn't tell us, you didn't tell listeners your name. You can also call us or send us a message via WhatsApp to the number 081717563338. Just keep the messages coming. I'll definitely read all of them before ending the show today. Okay, we have another caller. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Mr. Ozio from Badagry.
Okay, from Badagry. Talk to us, sir.
You see, what is happening in Nigeria today happened in the Bible. In Genesis, in Exodus, when Pharaoh refused to allow the Israelites to go and serve their God, the wilderness. They said that the Pharaoh measured shoulder with God, but when God struck, the Egyptians and the Pharaoh come at midnight and allowed the Israelites to go. What APC is doing to this country, when God will react, they will pay dearly for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So keep the messages coming in. WhatsApp message only. I'm seeing some text messages here, some SMS. I don't think we'll have time for that. If you want to send us a message, go to WhatsApp. The number is 081717563338. Just keep sending the messages. I'll read all of them before going. Okay, continuing the message I started. The sender was like highlighting some of the edifices and institutions that have been named after Tinubu, after President Bola Tinubu, in just 2 years. And he went on to mention so many of them. And says, I won't be shocked if APC gets renamed Bola Tinubu Progressive Congress sometime soon. Okay, we have another caller here. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us.
Good brother. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, please.
I appreciate the representation.
Okay.
Please, what I want to say is this. It is true, all of them are running to one party. They all are running there to collect, carry their own Ghana Moscow money, Nigerian money they are sharing. All of them are defecting because if you say they don't cross, they say come and carry your own money. If you don't come, another person carry them. That's why they rush to that place. But one day, you see how fast they run speed enter a pothole. And without knowing that there's snake inside that place. That is very speed to take enter there. If you take that speed, the mass back. And Nigeria will not allow them to go with the abandoned. They carry all our money. When they share 3 billion, 4 billion carry in our name, they go and vandalize the money. Then we are fools. What is watching them? The only thing that I'm happy that there's something that passes everybody in this world is death. Not all of them will say, did I 2027 they are watching? See, they don't know what happened tomorrow. It is what happened at the Plateau and the other place now. The people they killed last night, and the people that are alive now, they are watching. They kill them and they kill tomorrow. So all of them, there's one I listened to yesterday, where he was talking about that. Now I know that the money is now in the mortuary. Don't let them continue running with their money. They all vomit it. If they don't vomit it, all the whole problem go to their family. It's not easy to carry general money once their house. You're enjoying. We are suffering. Before we eat a day, they had us. But we vote them in to go and bring something for us and give us. They carry their money away. God, oh God, hey? Oh God. God will never allow them to go free. They must suffer it. All our suffer will go to them. All the enjoyment will come to the poor people that they are suffering. God will never allow them to go free. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're getting more callers. Keep the call coming. Thanks for joining us. Tell us your name, where you're calling from.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon. This is Gabriel.
Okay, Gabriel, calling from?
Yeah. Can you hear me, sir?
We can hear you clearly.
Okay.
Talk to us.
Please. Yeah. It's always angry me whenever I hear about this government. And it is not their fault. It is the fault of the masses. We can wake up to our responsibility. We left it to the dead God. Which God? No God is anywhere to come and help us out of this hell. It's us that need to wake up from responsibility. If they lie, let them get to only one party. When we wake up, we'll chase them out of those offices. For the fact that we are still remaining with all this pride, British, we can't go anywhere. We are going nowhere. We keep on blaming our government, our people. Our major problem is all this France and the British. Tomorrow now we will celebrate the independence. We are not dependent at all. So there is nothing we are celebrating. So the next thing Nigeria needs to do, we need to wake up to responsibility and take up the nation from their hands. Otherwise, when we keep on waiting on God, no God anywhere to bring you out. So it is we that need to fight for our rights. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please keep your messages coming in. I will definitely read them. 0817175638. 0817175638. Okay, we're getting more calls. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, good afternoon, Solomon.
Yes, tell us the name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Ben. I'm calling from Ava.
Ben. Okay, talk to us, Ben.
Thank you. Concerning Mr. President, I want to advise everybody not to go to protest tomorrow. There's no need to protest. Now these people that are protesting, if you listen to them, now they are the same people attacking the opposition. So I don't actually know where they stand. We want to do protest that will yield fruit.
You go to the House of Assembly, National Assembly. Go there and place our demand. There are so many things. These are the people that will listen to us. They are representing us. Tell them what we want. Tell them what we want them to change from Constitution. Give us good electoral act. Just write everything on the placards and show it to them. Block that place where they used to park motor. Every day, everybody will come park much Sunday. Every day, everybody go. They will listen to us by force. For people to go and start moving up and they will assign the police and their team to come and start shooting people. They said some people will start doing some bad things. In Kano, they were climbing court, removing roof. They enter inside court to remove vital documents. You know, they were buckling people's goods, like GSM shops, computer shops, laptops, cut away with things. The other time they were burning banks, doing so many things, setting banks ablaze, destroying warehouses and businesses like ShopRite, so other things are nonsense. As weekends, many things go after everything. Let them other communities in Plateau and Benue. We are there are Planet's men are occupied. When they refuse it, let them name it after. And all the IDP camps in Beronu, Niger, let them name it after Tinubu. And that dam that collapsed in Medugri, let them name it after Tinubu. Uromi, that place, hunters, all those terrorists, they are striking. Let them name all everything out after Tinubu. So let it answer, not the only conference center. They have, check out this administration, they have been wasting money. Everything they are doing now, things that doesn't make sense. That is where they are wasting all the money. Look at budget they get so wicked, 1.8 trillion. What is wicked doing with 1.8 trillion in Abuja? Look at the Senate now. The padding, budget padding is 6.9 trillion. And look at the military now. They are all for defense. About 5.something trillion again. So which one is we get pumped into the economy? Everything is just for concurrent. There is no capital. Look at the 2024 budget. You cannot pinpoint anything. Say this is what they use it to do. And Mr. Dev Umai is a thinking service of the president because he gets 16 trillion. For projects that will not benefit the federal government and Nigerians, nothing. The Lagos and Calabar Coastal Road, what type of commercial value does he have? Let them demolishing people's property. Look at landmark they destroyed at 130 billion. And you are building nonsense. White Elephant project that cannot finish next 15 years. It has not finished. You see, that is Tinubu is not getting it right. I wonder what it should be protesting against him. Because all this suffering, hardship, poverty, hunger, they are signing it into law. There is nothing you can do. If we is to hold all these people, members of National Assembly, hold them accountable. Let them give us good electoral act that nobody can manipulate. That INEC should be independent in this. It is state governors and the local government that control INEC during elections. Yes. All these people you call INEC during elections and members of the local government. That's why they are struggling to hold the local government and the state. They are defecting.
Okay.
Because during election, they are the ones they call INEC.
Okay.
INEC doesn't have structure. So this is what we will fight now. If we don't fight it, it's then when they have done the damage, 2027, start protesting. You are wasting your time.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for calling. One more call and then I'll start reading the messages I have here. There's nothing wrong with protesting. It is our civil right. The issue is there shouldn't be vandalism. There shouldn't be looting. That's when you're breaking the law. Okay, I'll pick my last caller, after which I'll read the messages and we will say goodbye. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon.
No, good afternoon, my good brother.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from, please.
I'm Zedim of Roman. So I only want to tell them, both the governors, both the president, and all of them, they should remember Abacha. What is Abacha now? The money they loot, or Abacha loot, other people loot and back. Where is the money? So, Abacha loot money, they carry and come for Nigeria. and then loot and back. They are going there to share the money. Let them continue sharing Nigerian money. As they loot and butter money, so they will loot their own money. All of them will not be there. Watch, continue watching. Before that, 2027, you can't how many of them there. The many of them not see the end of 2026. Most of them not see it. They're enjoying, but time shall come when they will cry. They are eating poor people's money, enjoying. We are suffering. We are suffering. Before we could find something to eat, it's hard on, but they're enjoying. Carrying 2 billion, 10 billion.
It is well. It is well. It is well.
They are going there to carry the money.
It is
they're
well.
enjoying the 2 billions. That you all know the billions are suffering. Before you can drink garri, they go hard you. But they're enjoying.
It is
They
well.
should remember Abacha loot.
They are. They will. They will. They will. Thank you. Thank you very much for calling.
They'll be looted themselves.
Thank you very much. Okay, the phone lines are closed now. No more calling. Let me face the messages I have here. Okay, let me continue with the message I was reading then. He highlighted some of the edifices and institutions that have been named after President Bola Tinubu in 2 years. And continue. I wouldn't be shocked if APC gets renamed Bola Tinubu Progressive Congress, ATBC, sometime soon. At this rate, the president will have named at least 24 public facilities after himself should he complete his second term in office. But one thing is certain, Tinubu's obsession with self-immortalization will only last as long as his legacy of service. If his final 2 years or 6 years in office are as woeful as the first two, the public will willfully forget him in a flash, and his successor need more time, more than a few weeks in office, to reassess his name from all these institutions. Anyway, it's all just a matter of time. Okay. Imagine a political game. If you ask Wike, he will say it is one of his achievements, naming International Conference Center his boss, where his boss can actually restrain him of doing. Okay, also, on what merit would there have claimed to be naming institution after his names? It is a pity. Akintunde Abi from Oshodi. Good afternoon, dear brother. Wike Repair International Conference Center. Why is all the messages about a conference center today with 31 billion and we don't have companies? This is coming from Adaku from Igondo. A lot of us are going off messages here. This is John Legend. I didn't know why you cut me off, but we are in this together. No going back after 2027. I wonder if there will be Nigeria again. There will be Nigeria again in Jesus' name. Sorry, did I cut you off, John Legend? Sorry, it wasn't intentional. If we don't do anything concerning electoral reform by removing the chief perpetrator, Mahmoud Yakubu, and his agents, if we fail to do so, then 2027 will end in tears. Defection or no defection, God will surely make our individual votes to count. Chechuko Acolyte Emmanuel from Ejigbo, thank you so much. We are calling all defected politicians to resign and vacate their various seats from because they don't have the right to hand over the people's vote and mandate to their opposition party. Jerry Festag. The question is, what end should any reasonable thinking person or persons defect to the APC? 10 years on its saddle, how have the people benefited the dividends of democracy? Thus, it is unmistakable that the gale of defection clearly exemplified the Nigerian politicians' lack of political ideology. Femi Olokun writes from Agege. Thank you so much, Femi. Why Nigerian politicians have lost their conscience is because they are polluting with the spirit of lies. Nothing good can come out of them. Ew. Because they are evil. They lack truth. God bless you, Julius. Good day, VOP and Mr. Solomon. Good day to you too. It's Nigerian system and our undefined constitution that is supporting our politicians to misbehave. Let Nigeria go back to the constitution and give us independence. Regional system of government, the system will take Nigeria back to its feet. I've been saying it. This unitary system that we call presidential will only continue to draw us back. Let every region start to manage their resources. Elder Isaac from Idimo. We do explain these. Jerry Festac again. Sorry. Okay, thank you for your contribution. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow is another day. On Thursday by 1:30. Join us on our social media handles VOP 90.3 FM. Subscribe to our YouTube channel VOP 903 FM. See you again tomorrow. Bye bye. This is Solomon of FM.